You're listening to Oilersnation Radio, presented by the Nation Network. Subscribe for free on iTunes, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts from.
Oilersnation Radio from the new studio. Well, it's the old studio, but new studio because it's coming together.
There is a new studio being made.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
But right now, when you see the video, we are in the same room we've always been in. But we're upgrading.
It just looks cooler.
It's a work in progress.
Well, it's technically the second room we've been in because the new room, we were actually in the new room as an old room.
Yeah, that was
a while ago.
Well, I guess it would be the fourth room then, because originally it would be now the Nation Gear room at Little Brick.
It's fair.
Then it was the basement studio.
This was.
Then it was studio
3, 4,
and 4.
So yeah, station 5. I'll be back to 3.
And sometimes you do it on Zoom, so you got to add those 5 different rooms in as well. So maybe this is
Who are you?
What about hotel rooms?
Who are you, mystery speaker?
I am Liam.
Welcome
back.
We are back.
Welcome back.
Ready to go.
Welcome back, Liam.
That's all I have in my head at the moment. That's all. Everything that's happening in my head is just Law and Order.
Liam's back.
Oh,
party lights.
Yeah.
Makes no sense for the podcast listeners.
Yeah, if you're listening, Tyler was just making fun sounds with his mouth.
Yeah.
You know?
We had a cool light effect in the studio.
Mm-hmm. I am also now in this new studio. I'm behind like a wall, essentially.
Almost.
Producer bag milk.
The plan, though, for next year is that there won't be any of this, like, you know, like you'll be able to see that joke because we want to start putting the show on the YouTubes.
Yeah.
Fully.
Yeah.
The YouTube?
The YouTube.
The YouTubes.
The YouTubes.
On the
Facebook.
internets.
the X. That was big.
I will never not call it Twitter.
I think it's still called Twitter.
It is. The URL still Twitter.
I still type it in.
Yeah,
Twitter.
directs you to x.com.
Yeah, that's.
Is it supposed to be X.com? Did you see the other big news coming from X today?
Getting rid of blocking people.
No, you
Yeah.
can't
do
block
that.
people
That's
anymore.
exhausting.
Like
Yeah,
that
but
is-
I think the mute button will still work.
Yeah.
He just
hopefully.
likes to get attention. Stop giving little fires oxygen.
It's a weird play. Anyway, that's not what we're talking about. Well, maybe we'll get to that later. Right now, we are talking about our friends at Oodle Noodle, the hot box. It is out. You battle the fire with fire. In terms of the heat, it was boiling hot in Edmonton yesterday. Go get a hot box, makes you sweat, calms you down.
Today, not that hot.
No. Perfect day for a
I
hot
like
box.
a rainy day.
Liven you
warm
up. Whether it's warm or cold, the hot box from Oodle Noodle, that's where you need to be. Got it? Good.
It is hot. Bring milk.
How much milk did you drink?
I watched you drink like 2 liters of milk.
2
Yeah, I had the
liters.
full cup, and then I asked Aaron if I could have the rest of his milk.
You don't eat a lot of hot
Before
food,
we
do you?
shot, I specifically asked Kennedy to grab some milk because I knew what was going to happen to
Yeah.
me. I could not handle that shit.
I
Those
literally
English
did a milk
taste
run.
buds of yours are just, they're
Bland.
dainty flowers.
Yeah, there's nothing to them.
You don't eat a lot of spicy food, do you?
No,
Cucumber sandwiches are
Oh,
Yeah.
That's super spicy.
I sweat at the look of it, never mind the taste of it.
We're going to get to a little bit of Liam's vacay coming up in a bit because you found somebody in, where was that, Paris,
Paris.
wearing a Nail Yakupov t-shirt.
He messaged me.
Completely.
Yeah.
That guy?
Yeah, he messaged me.
All right, we're going to talk about that in a second.
What game did we play where we had to use the hot sauces? I think we should bring it back for one.
Yeah,
Just to include Liam over here.
I'm
once
listening.
upon a time, we used to play Coombs Trivia.
Oh, yeah, that's what it was.
And if you got the answer wrong, you had to take a shot of this hot sauce.
We just dunked like a chicken nugget in it.
A little
Oh,
nugget.
that's,
Jesus.
Oh, that's happening.
Yeah, we're definitely
Oh,
going to do that.
yeah.
I also had this one where I was going to be hot pepper roulette with the same thing, where there'd be various levels of spicy peppers depending, and you spin the wheel and see which one you get.
Oh, no.
Good luck, Liam.
I've got ideas.
I might be sick that
I would
day.
not play that. Yeah.
Yes, you would.
Oh,
Yes, you would. It'd be fun.
There's no choice.
Yeah.
it's for content.
It's all about
Yeah.
the content,
For the
baby.
people.
It's in your contract.
Let's kick it off for our friends at Oodle Noodle with a delicious debate for the day. I'm turning over to Liam because he's working on an article for Oilers Nation talking about fan expectations for the 2023-24 NHL season. Liam.
Yes. So as you guys know, I've been on holiday and I'm not familiar with what the Oilers have done. So I asked people what they thought of the season. So I'll read out some bold ones. You guys can debate if they'll happen or not.
Here we
We'll
go.
start mild. Says a healthy event. This one's from Ty Andres. Healthy Evander Kane hits a career high in points and is third on the team in scoring behind 97 and 29.
Let's look at it. So Evander Kane career high in points currently is
Like
57 in 2011, 2012 with the Winnipeg Jets. Next up was 56 in 2018-19 with the San Jose Sharks. I could absolutely see him being 56 points if he can stay healthy and play with McDavid or Draisaitl.
Career high?
Career high.
Yeah. I think the career high part can happen. Third on the Oilers. He doesn't play on the power play.
Yeah, that's a big thing.
Nuge or Bouchard or Hyman will outproduce him because they get the power play time. If you were to tell me, third on even strength points, like maybe I would give it more thought, but he won't be third in scoring.
When was the last time Kane played a full 82? Do you have that there, BM?
Full 82, never.
Never.
Most games played in a season was 75 in 2018-19 with the Sharks, which was his second most points at 56.
Interesting. Yeah, I agree with Tyler. It's going to be difficult for him to be third on the team unless he can wiggle his way onto the power play.
I think he played the whole season in 12-13, though. I think that was the a half season.
Sure, yeah.
That was 48.
And he played the full season in 2020, 2021, the 56 game shortened season, right?
So he's got 2 full ones, yeah.
But yeah, you're right. He's never played 82, which is a grind.
Sure.
It is a grind.
Yeah, it is.
But like, how about, okay, let's break it down a little bit. Career high in goals is 30. That was in 2011, 2012 with the Jets. Any chance he gets there?
Yeah.
Really good chance.
He stays healthy, he'll get it. Yeah. Like he was on pace again to do that this last year, right? With 22 or sorry, how many goals did he finish? 16, 41. There you go. That's a 32 goal pace.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think, now here's a thought. Do you think they'll rely on the second power play a little bit more now that they have like an Ekholm on it?
Probably.
I don't think they get no, I think you'll play the exact same way they did last year.
Yeah,
like,
I think
that
so
Connor
too.
and Leon, and even if you do go to the number 2, you still got Connor, Leon, and who was it? Nuge that used to stay on.
Yeah, so true.
And then you swap out 2 guys.
Basically a 1A and a 1B. Yeah.
yeah.
with 3 guys that were playing both.
So maybe they just have different looks, and that's how Kane gets his points on the power play.
Yeah.
Kennedy, anything?
What do you think, Kennedy?
How many? What was his like total last year?
Last year, he had 16 goals, 12 assists for 28 points in 41 games.
So
So you double up the math on
I
that,
agree
that's
with Tyler,
56.
like saying like that he's not going to hit the third scoring. Like you have Zach Hyman, you have Nuge, you have Connor Brown even coming in now. So I don't think
A
so.
lot of guys who could get to 60
Ryan
points,
McLeod
70
even. I'm
points.
like,
So third in points, maybe not.
no.
Yeah.
I actually
I think that's a bold
decided
take.
today that Ryan Nugent Hopkins is getting 100 points again. I wrote that down in when I wrote this article. My prediction is Nuge gets 100 points again.
The power play, right?
Yeah, he had 53 points on the power play last year, and what he finished 104.
104.
So like he's produced on both. Might regress a little bit.
Get your stats out of here. All he does is power play points.
And he's going to be a dad, so that's going to be big.
Very soon.
By the way,
Yeah.
Well, remember
Liam,
Talbot.
you need to put in your guess on the Ryan Nugent Hopkins dad
Happens.
board.
I already did it. I
Okay.
did the 24th because that's my birthday, and I wrote in blue, and I'm assuming that means I think it's a boy.
Yeah.
Yes.
Girl dad Nuge, but okay.
It'll be Ryan Nugent Hopkins the second. It'll be his name as well.
I'm pretty sure Bree Nugent Hopkins would have to go into labor in 3 or 4 days to hit my number. So
Fingers. No,
No.
you're going down.
get some spicy food in you. Or something. I don't know what induces labor.
I picked the 29.
Yeah, scare her.
Just get somebody creep out. Boo! What do you got for the second one, Liam?
All right, second one. Now this one's a big one. I don't know if I believe this. Is from Oilers fan 88. Lavoie will have a top 6 spot by the end of the season. Now, I don't know if this is in Bakersfield or Edmonton, but if it's in Edmonton, I don't think there's a chance he finishes in the top 6.
Raphael Lavoie?
Yeah.
No way.
No.
I don't think that. I don't think it's a no way.
It's not a no
You've
way.
got so first of all, your 6th forward right now. It's going to be Brown.
Yeah.
It's a dude who hadn't played a whole season. It's a guy that you could easily see. What was his injury?
ACL.
ACL.
Look at Pacioretty.
Yeah, like listen, that's not 100%.
Yeah.
If he doesn't produce at the rate, and you do see a young Lavoie, get hot early, it happens. No problem.
There's an open spot in the top 6.
100% there is.
There
It
is,
could even
yeah.
be something where, they're moving a player down to the third line. Remember last year, Nuge
To
spent time
solidify the third line.
with, Nuge spent time with Costin and Janmark. Maybe it's a
What is the
scenario.
question again?
Lavoie will have a top 6 spot by the end of the season.
See, and I said this last year, we were running more of a top 9 than a top 6,
Mm-hmm.
where we kind of spread everybody out and give you 3 lines that, go ahead and try and figure it out against.
I just think Lavoie would have to jump other guys too.
Like who? He's a right-handed shot, playing the right wing.
They might even put like a Ryan McLeod has seen top 6 before, right?
He plays the left side.
Not on the right side very often.
I could see Fogle
Maybe
playing on the right side on his off wing.
Holloway.
I don't know. It just feels like Lavoie is already trying to like fight for a spot on the team to say he's going to be a top 6 at the end of the season. I just think.
Well, I do believe this is a bold prediction segment.
It is.
Not?
It is bold. Yeah. There's no doubt about that one.
For me, I just like. I'm not talking about him in a top 6 spot until he even plays 1 minute of NHL hockey.
Yeah,
he's playing.
They have 4 right shot forwards right now on their roster. Connor Brown, Zach Hyman, who plays the left side, so it doesn't really count. Lane Peterson and Derek Ryan. Everyone else shoots left.
Yeah.
So
I just don't think it matters.
Decent chance he can get.
I mean, there's a chance. Pardon?
It does matter. There's not a lot of right shots.
No, I mean, it doesn't matter if they put a left shot on the right side if they produce.
Yeah, sure.
And I think that's all the others are going to look for is are they producing? I just can't see them after not giving Holloway a chance last season at all in the top 6, like very rarely.
He didn't really earn that chance, though. He didn't.
But like we're talking about a guy who hasn't even played in the NHL being in the top 6.
But I'm just saying it's not like unfathomable.
Yeah,
it's not unfathomable.
No, I don't think so either.
He's more of an offensive player, and he gets put in an offensive situation. An offensive player can really take off in that spot. I think it's quite reasonable to think that he'd have an opportunity to get in the top 6.
I think things would have to go wrong for him to get a top 6 chance. So
one player goes sideways and he has a nice start to the year and you're right there. I don't think it takes that much. I don't think it's that crazy.
Man, I've got a problem if Lavoie is playing in our top 6.
No, why can't he be doing it in a very good way?
Can't say that.
He can be doing it in a good way.
If he's having a great year.
But
if he's okay, what is a great year for Raphael Lavoie?
What if
50 points?
Yeah, what if in November?
Okay, what was our Dylan Holloway predictions for
I know,
last year?
I'm not saying it's likely, but like he could.
Sure, I may make the team out of camp too.
Oh,
I'm a right shot.
What's your okay? Well, what do you expect out of Lavoie this year?
I expect him to be on the team and chip in like 15 to 20 points.
So do I.
Yeah, I think he's a bottom 6 guy.
So if you got a 20-point player in your top 6, that is a problem.
Okay, but he's not going to be in the top 6 if he's a 20-point player.
That's what we're talking about right now.
No, you're taking this a weird way.
How am I taking it a weird way?
If he has 40 points, you could see him up there.
If he's a 20-point player, which I expect him to be, yes, he's in the bottom 6, 100%. If he has a breakout season and he's more than a 20-point guy, you could see him and the style of player he is fitting in the top 6.
But there's so many other players out there that are going to have.
But not that there really isn't that many players out there you're going to put in that spot first.
Connor Brown and who else we got on right?
Holloway, maybe if
they flip Holloway.
Yeah, maybe put Holloway.
Maybe they flip Holloway.
You're most likely
Hyman plays on his actual.
You're
wing
most likely not moving. Fogel's not moving there. Janmark's not going. Ryan's not going there. Peterson's not going there.
Fogel's playing on his off wing. They can move Hyman to his correct wing. I just see man, that is a lot of pressure to put on a kid who hasn't even put on an Oilers jersey.
Well, I'm not saying he has to do it. That's the beauty of the Oilers having depth is like, hey, if Raphael Lavoie takes a big step forward again, like he did last year, then it's not insane to be like, hey, that's a guy who could be a good shooter for one of the top 6.
And there's no spotlight on him. He can walk in there and do it very quietly, hiding behind those other 5.
It's like a 5% chance it happens, but I'm just saying it could happen, and it could be a really good thing for their depth.
Yeah,
Connor Brown has only broken 40 points once in his career.
I'm not putting those expectations on Lavoie.
They're not it's a bold prediction.
It's potential.
Sure.
Not expectation.
Well, look. Connor Brown has broken 40 points once in his career. Once, and it was 43 points.
Okay, at least he's
that type of a player could easily be. That type of a player could easily, and he's whatever the 6-7 years into his career. That type of player could easily be bumped down by a rookie who's
based on what you know about Jay Woodcroft. Who would get an opportunity to move up first, a rookie or a player he knows?
That's kind of my thing too.
Who's the player?
The Oilers just have
literally anyone.
Not trusting younger players.
Literally
anyone.
Putting
Janmark there. You're not putting Ryan there. You're not putting Peterson there.
Up there first.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, and that's fine, but that's Holloway's played 40 games in the NHL.
But he's played an NHL game. That's the thing, right?
Oh, I can't believe we're just holding a guy down because he hasn't played an actual game yet.
Who's holding him down?
Everybody.
You'd be pissed if he's in the top 6.
I would not be pissed. It would be weird, given that means a lot of players on the roster are either hurt or failed.
I don't think that means that either. I think they have average years. he has an above average year for a rookie.
Those
I'm
guys
gonna be
that
a
are
big Raphael Lavoie fan this year.
I've been saying this for a while that I expect him to take a step this year,
Based on
earn
what,
his spot
though?
on the league in
Yeah, exactly. That's
trajectory.
The big step he took last year.
Yeah,
But still wasn't
In
a point of play
Baco?
game player in the AHL.
he didn't have the whole. He didn't get a
Came in
workout at
hurt.
all in the summer. The first
This just reminds me of last year's Dylan Holloway conversation after he won the Ty Ratty Award.
No, but Dylan Holloway, I mean, like if you asked me to like predict what Raphael Lavoie is going to do, I would say one, most likely outcomes he's probably on waivers at a camp. And maybe he comes up at some point. And
So how is that like?
Because I'm not saying it's likely. I'm saying
Why are you
he
yelling
has
at me?
upside. Because Rick and I are like, hey, we think he's got upside. You guys are like, oh,
I didn't say he didn't have upside.
Also, don't forget he's not exactly.
When did I say he didn't
he's
have
not
upside?
an 18 or 19-year-old player. He's also 22.
When did I say he didn't have
If
upside?
we rewind the podcast, I don't know however many minutes, you were like, boy, if he's in the top 6, like there's
You'll be
problems.
disappointed.
And
Yeah.
you'd be disappointed.
I'd be disappointed with the players ahead of him on the current depth chart.
I just think there's a chance he earns it.
Sure.
I believe in him.
Sure.
Yeah, I
I'm
don't
not
think
putting expectations on him. I'm not going to be sitting here in December being like, fucking Raphael Lavoie,
40
he has
points.
2 goals. I'm so mad.
I don't
Who's
think-
going to be mad about that?
I don't think
No
40 points is that crazy to think that he can reach. And I think that doing that, you can find a spot in that one unicorn spot we have.
Liam, thoughts?
I don't know.
Thanks for that one.
Just
I
because
can't
he's a
believe
young guy doesn't mean he can't do it.
We really do not have much to talk about if we're spending this much time on Lavoie. I will move on to the next one. Evan Bouchard. This is from
First of all,
Elvis.
don't fucking put me in a J situation here where I don't think you do it. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just not putting
you gotta
any
talk to the
pressure
listeners
on a
about
guy who has not played an NHL minute. That's it.
Yeah, I'm not putting any pressure on him either.
He is. Guaranteed.
Probably, yeah. He's
Sure,
probably-
and he should.
Yeah.
Frankly, if he doesn't, then that
No, he
probably
will.
would be an issue. But I don't expect that. Like last year, Dylan Holloway averaged 9 minutes.
I think it'll like Clint Costin too in the playoffs where he just like would get benched even despite scoring goals. Like Oilers just have a weird history of not believing in these younger guys.
Or just maybe not giving them the leash maybe that they need.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
he was just leaning on the big guys a little too
Yeah.
much. And I think he'll try and correct that this year, therefore give more opportunity to the bottom half.
Yeah, I think that's probably fair too.
I mean, I hope he gives more opportunity to the bottom half.
I think he will. He's a coach that's learning as he goes too, right? He's only this is what, third year, second year?
Third,
full?
2.5.
Second full.
Yeah.
Second full.
Okay, I'll do a couple more. Elvis dropped some bombs, but I'll give one that I think is the
Elvis is back?
boldest. Elvis, the
He never
clumsy,
left. Never
clumsy ninja Elvis, whose profile picture is him and Was,
What?
dropped some bangers. So I'll give a couple from him. Bouchard will score 100 points.
No.
Okay.
Nope.
Jack Campbell will have a save percentage over 9-10.
Sure.
Ooh, I
I think
like that one.
I like
That's a
that
good
one.
It's not on.
I like that one.
Yeah, it's not
Let's look.
impossible.
Let's
I
have a
hope-
little peek.
I think it before
He brings his
Jordan
game
was
back. The team plays
9-14
better in
with
front of him, no
Toronto.
problem.
His NHL career average save percentage is 910.
There you go.
Oh.
So we need him to be average. I think he can
Perfect.
do that.
That's a
There was actually a lot on Campbell in this, a lot of belief. So let's hope. Here's a good one. Leon Draisaitl will score 60 goals and get the scoring title.
yeah. I said he's going to run the Rocket this year.
I'd say he's probably closer to 55. I think it'll be hard for him to take it from Connor. I think Connor's going to go for it again.
No, I
What?
think
Here's
I think
what-
the
And I see. I
Sorry.
think the exact opposite.
That's what I'm
You think
saying.
he's
I said Connor had his chance to shine last year
Connor
because
got
Leon
it?
bet on him and said, "Hey,
Tucked it in his pocket,
Now Connor's going to give it right back and
looking
say,
out
hey,
for his
no,
boy.
do it.
Mm-hmm.
Give
So
her."
I think 60 is too
And
high.
it's a contract
60's
year
high.
too.
I think, I think he's 55, but I can see Connor going over 60 again.
Well,
Career high for Leon is 55 2 years ago.
who scores more, McDavid or Draisaitl? then?
Goals we're talking?
Connor.
Goals? Yeah.
Yanner.
I'm going to
Danny.
say Leon.
I'm saying Leon.
Okay.
That's my bold prediction.
I think that, so this is what I think. So like if Rick, your guess is 55 for Leon,
Yeah.
I'm going to say Connor's got like 51. They're going to be right there, but Connor's assists. So I think Connor's assists are going to go way up.
I think it'll be a swap of last season.
Because
Where-
now I think people are going to respect him more as a shooter after what he did last year. And it's going to open up more passing lanes for him.
Yeah, I think he just, to me, he's got the taste.
Yeah.
He's got that blood in his
Fuck
mouth.
would I love to see him get 7.
And you know what? Those guys they're pissed off. They're angry.
Oh yeah.
I
Angry
guarantee
Connor.
you they hate the fact that there's still two months left in this summer.
I'm really just trying to get brownie points with Kennedy.
Always go
I got
Connor Brown.
3 more. 2 of them will be quick.
Go ahead.
Ryan McLeod scores 20 goals.
Yeah,
That's
I like
doable.
that.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
very doable.
Fuck, I love that.
I think
If he just stays healthy,
If he's
he'll top
That's
that's
his
it.
thing.
That's just
I
it.
think
What was he at last year?
12.
11
But
and
he missed a lot of
57.
He missed like 30 some
Yeah.
games.
11 and
so.
57. So, I mean, not a 20 goal pace, but if you're healthy and he shoots the puck more, I could
A
see
little
it.
bit of luck. He's got all the tools. I would love it.
Totally.
This one's from Kraken up north. So that's interesting. McDavid and Draisaitl score 300 points between the two of them.
51, 60, 140, 170,
That's
130.
Probably a bit high.
Yeah, I got him at like 270, 275.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, I
high.
think that's pretty
really
close.
If they do, that'd be incredible.
high. If they do, then you know what?
I mean,
yes, they're going to do it.
The amount
Go
of
ahead.
listeners from outside this city for the other team bases would drop to 0. I'd be insufferable.
I was just going to say, if McDavid somehow averaged 2 points a game, that's 164, and Draisaitl would then still need 136. Like that's just, it's too
What did
high.
they get this year?
Connor got 153.
And Draisaitl was like 129.
274.
Oh, 128 because he was one off of 129.
Right.
So yeah, 153 plus 128.
Who's got the math on it? You're Math.
281.
Durham Chuck.
There we go.
All right. Last one from Connor Dean. Sam Gagner scores the cup-winning goal, officially ending the decade of darkness curse and opening the McDavid dynasty era.
You know what?
No
Damn
chance.
it. I'm
Yeah.
I'm in.
The parade
Damn it,
starts
I'm in.
right after.
That's pretty much all of
All
them.
right, wrap up the podcast there.
Yeah.
Cup's coming home and Gagner's getting it.
Oh, actually, I think this is the boldest one of them all. Warren Fogle scores on a breakaway.
Oh,
Nope.
no, he can't buy a goal.
Seems like a bit much.
Yeah, I'm
Nope.
not on that one.
Ridiculous.
Mm-mm.
And that's it. The rest-
Contract year, folks, though. I'm all in on it.
True. The
Okay, so let me ask you
rest
a
of them are
question.
just cup wins.
Contract folks. Depending, like obviously, if he's on a run, do you just keep him all the way through, or do you consider moving him at a deadline?
Fogel?
Yeah.
No, you keep him all the way and then he's your rental.
No, I think it's all dependent on what you want to do at the deadline. Like,
What do you
And
think?
it's also-
What do you think his return value is as of right now today?
cap dump. Cap dump. That's what he'd be at the deadline, right? He's your, like, kind of like what Barry was. Barry had value, but you just had to move him to make the Ekholm deal work. So I think with Fogel,
We're not in the same cap issue though.
yeah, you are.
No, we don't have to take the whole contract. Now we only take what's left of the contract.
Yeah,
that's a
but
huge
still,
difference.
You only have a couple $100,000. Like you're still, if you want to go get like a piece, like a big piece.
Fair.
So for me, it's like, okay, if Holloway plays good this year and, you know, maybe Lavoie's on the roster and like he's an actual NHL player at the deadline, you're sitting there, you can very easily kind of see a scenario where it's like, man, we need a D-man and Warren Fogle. I mean, Cody Ceci would probably be the likely cap dump too, but
You need to drop a D
it just
man.
wouldn't surprise me if you sit there at the deadline and Fogel's having a good year, but you're like, fuck, we really like this other guy. He's cap dump.
That's fair. In that situation, I can see it.
But I don't think they're going to be like,
No, they're not pushing him out the door by any means.
But it just, him and Ceci are the two guys that you realistically could move if you needed money.
Yeah, I mean, you can add Kulak to that if Broberg plays really well, but
Yeah, I just like.
I like the 7 defense we have the way right now. I wouldn't touch them.
But what would you
That's
do
my
if you didn't have
defense.
playoff Kulak in the picture?
We do have to.
And I like
to deal
Kulak.
with
Like,
this.
man, when the cap jumps up the next 2 seasons,
Yeah.
Kulak at 2.75 is going to be so nice.
And he's
Yeah, I
good
agree.
too. Like
He's
I got
really
nothing
good.
against him.
No, I
Super
know.
steady.
But it's not. I don't think it's far fetched to think that Broberg can take a step over him.
Yeah, but then but I mean, again, I think if you're adding a D-man, knock on wood,
What are you chuckling about over there?
everyone that's
Tyler.
present, what?
Does his job.
Rick
that.
said Broberg steps up, and you said, "Yeah, and does his job." And he just caught me off guard.
I just meant like, I didn't mean, I didn't mean like,
Why are you talking about him like that?
I didn't mean like, oh yeah, Broberg finally does his job. I meant Broberg does Kulak's job.
Oh, okay.
That's much less condescending when you.
A little upset over here.
Yeah.
Play the button.
This is a
But-
spicy Friday.
Assuming everyone on the blue line is healthy and doing their jobs, your left side is Nurse, Ekholm, Kulak / Broberg.
Yep.
Your right side is Ceci, Bouchard, Desharnais / Broberg, I guess, potentially.
Yeah.
You'd want to add a righty, so you're probably subtracting Ceci in the deal.
Yeah.
Versus subtracting Kulak and adding a righty just means you have more.
No,
righties.
for sure.
If you want to chime in on any of these items Liam touched on in the Oodle Noodle Delicious Debate, hit us up, ON Radio Podcast on Twitter and Instagram, or you yell at us. Send us a voice note. Tyler yelled at me and I'm hurt about it. I also want to mention
because that conversation was taken in a wrong way. It was bold predictions. I just don't think that bold prediction's like impossible.
It's not impossible. I'm just saying I would be upset with players above him on the roster if that happened.
Yeah, I can't say that yet.
And the way, Jay Woodcroft gives veterans chances.
I think that spot's got a very revolving door on it. It's got one.
Probably.
Obviously, Connor Brown's going to start there just because Connor and whatever. But I think that could be a very easily a revolving door and guys going in.
Put it this way, I'd love to be wrong. Would love to be 100%. That is part of the solution.
When do we do our predictions? A couple of weeks from now?
Mid-September, probably. Like I think we probably
still not far away. I hate this.
Maybe that's how we kick off our Tuesday episodes returning as we do like an all predictions episode.
I like it.
We're going to be doing that. Tyler and I talked about it yesterday. First week of October, we're going to go back to 2 a week.
Yep.
We need to have a big, giant digital board. Keep track of our picks.
Our picks, yeah.
I'll be listening and writing stuff down.
Yeah,
I'll keep you guys on.
She's like the podcast historian at this stage.
At this.
By the way, we've got another version of Kennedy's, another edition of Kennedy's quote game coming up.
Ooh, ooh.
Liam, last week we did not do well as a group.
No?
I think Rick won with 50%.
You got 3.
I believe I had 3 out of 6. Yeah.
Not bad.
Tyler went 0, and it was double Tyler week.
Over.
You went over?
Yep.
Yikes.
Yesterday, changing gears, yesterday we launched the Nation Vacation to Seattle. If you want to come with us on a vacation, which you absolutely should, this is one of the ones where we're super excited about. Every year when the schedule comes out, everybody at Nation HQ, we all kind of like hunker down and we're all looking at the road dates to see what works and what doesn't. And this year, Seattle gave us an interesting opportunity. November 10th to 12th, we are going down there on the Saturday night. Edmonton versus Seattle. On the Sunday, we are watching a little football. Edmonton versus Washington.
Edmonton versus Washington.
Or
I like our chances.
Go Elks.
Trey Ford.
Won yesterday.
Big win last
Don't
night.
ruin on-goal performers.
Big win last night. No, sorry. Seattle versus Washington.
Yes.
I'm excited. This is only my second ever NFL game. So I'm super excited about it.
Yeah, dig it.
If you want more details, go check out the article I wrote at Oilersnation.com or just check out nationgear.ca. It's right at the top of the page. Check out all the details you want. $19.99 based on double occupancy. Come hang out with me, Tyler, Rick. Liam just got back from Europe, so he's probably a little broke right now.
I heard he's trying not to get deported right now. So.
Yeah, I gotta get my residency card.
Seems like something you want to stay ahead of.
Yeah, so I'm gonna get down on that one and get on a second trip if we do one.
Oh, we're doing one.
Okay, good.
We've already got tickets for it.
Wasn't sure if we had announced it, so I didn't want to break
Stay tuned.
it.
He's been
Yeah,
gone
I'm
for a
pretty sure
couple
Jay
weeks.
announced it, did he not?
Did he go through all of them? I don't know.
Yeah. Like we talked about on Real Life. Said it's an Arizona trip.
Yeah, we're going to
Okay.
Arizona in February.
Yeah, so I'm gonna make sure I'm in on that one.
You want to come to Seattle with us, though? This is going to be cool. This is the first time ever going. We're going to see their fancy new barn.
It's
We're
gonna
going
be
to
fun.
watch Edmonton beat Seattle on a Saturday night.
Then
And a
Edmonton
little
beats
foosball.
Washington on Sunday.
And we're going to watch the Elks beat the Commanders.
Exactly.
God.
Some tailgating at the NFL game.
Oh yeah.
Giddy up.
Giddy up, nationgear.ca. That's where we want to go. I want to turn the conversation a little bit towards PTOs. Everybody's talking about it, Sam Gagner specifically, but Tyler, a couple of days ago at Oilersnation.com, wrote a Should the Oilers PTO Everyone? 4 names that you pulled out, Tyler. Number 1, Mark Pysyk. Number 2, Simon Benoit. Number 3, Zach Aston-Reese. Maxime Comtois as your 4 names that you put in that article. What are we thinking there?
The Gagner one's generating a lot of buzz right now, just because obviously everyone loves Sam Gagner. And I was just interested. I wrote about it in the piece a bit too. People were like, oh, the Oilers obsessed with old players.
I was going to say, please give your logic on why PTOs rule.
So like for every preseason game, you need to have a minimum amount of NHL veterans, and there's an NHL threshold. There's a minimum amount.
Do you know the number offhand or no?
I don't know the number.
But like, okay, percentage.
It's NHL veterans, and there's a percentage of it. So when you bring a guy in on a PTO, Brandon Sutter, Sam Gagner, those types, it just means that when you do a trip to Vancouver for the second preseason game, you don't need to fly out Connor and Leon and Nuge and Hyman. You can fly out a bunch of rookies and your PTO guys and some other vets like Derek Ryan. And your big guns don't need to go on every road trip in the preseason. And then if the PTO works, great. You just added a player for free and it was a risk-free addition. If it doesn't work, you say, thank you for your time. We're releasing you from the PTO, and you've still got the value of them filling a spot for a couple of preseason games and being an extra body in camp and all of that stuff. So when people are like, oh, why would you even do this with Gagne? Guys in the room like him, he'd probably be happy to come here on a PTO. He has a little bit of upside in the sense that maybe he could be your 13th forward or whatever, because he'd also be very cheap. Like, why would you not, kind of thing? It's
a very risk-free move to bring guys in on a PTO. Mm-hmm. And we're talking about Raphael Lavoie and having a fire under him, which, first of all, he already does. He's got a chance to make the NHL. He's going to come into camp prepared and ready to go. But if he thinks there's a veteran in here who's fighting for his job, that's a little extra motivation. Mm-hmm. And I think competition at any position is a good thing.
Hard to argue with that. That's why, again, I listed 4 more names there. I want to see a D-man kind of brought in on a PTO. I would love to see one more forward even brought in and like up the competition at camp. And you never know when you're going to hit on like an Alex Chason, right? He was a PTO guy and he stayed here for 2 years and scored a ton of goals.
PTO guy like his whole career almost.
I know, but like
that dude has more PTOs than.
So if you had to, of the 4 names you recommend or just suggested, Tyler, Mark Pysyk, Simon Benoit, Zach Aston Reese, Maxime Comtois, who's your top?
Did Aston Reese go somewhere?
No, I don't know.
Or did I have a dream that?
I think he may have dreamed it. Because we talked about this last week.
Nothing listed,
and I don't remember. Yeah, and I don't remember hearing his name at all in the last week.
I like Aston Reese then, just because I think
sandpaper.
Yeah, and he's the better sure thing, right? He's the better sure thing. Comtois, I think, has a bit more upside because maybe he could be a Chason-esque 15-plus goal option. So I'm good with either of them. And then just one of the D-men for extra competition. Pysyk is, local storyline, all that stuff. But
when will Mark Pysyk finally join the Edmonton Oilers? I feel like every year, Mark Pysyk is coming.
When we have money.
First, we got to get Drew Stafford here first.
Jesus. Yeah, it's Drew Stafford.
Then we can do Mark Pysyk.
Drew Stafford has to be retired, right?
So I used to work...
PTSD, listen to that.
I used to work in a building with Mark Pysyk's father-in-law, and Mark Pysyk would come in every single summer. And I used to think to myself, it's like, God damn it, man. When are you just going to stay forever? And then he just goes to all these random places all the time. Wasn't he hurt the entire season?
He didn't play last year, yeah.
He's also a forward. Remember when he got that hat trick as a forward for Florida?
Yeah.
That's big.
Back, yeah.
We're talking about Lavoie pushing up the lineup. Mark Pysyk has a hat trick to his name, folks. And he's a right shot.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey.
Lots to like here.
There's a lot to like. Converting. Good guy.
Mm-hmm.
Sure, Park boy.
Call Ken up right now.
Kenneth?
You know what? If they bring in another defenseman, I think it's going to be a Lane Peterson type of addition who's pretty much slated to go to Baco. I think the 7 defensemen they have right now are almost in ink to start the first 20 games or so. And then you have to reevaluate if you have to reevaluate. But I think you just got 2 defensemen there who I think Broberg has to go through waivers. So he's going to get 20 games to figure it out. And I think Vin's and
Broberg, according to Cap Friendly, is still waivers exempt.
Oh.
Isn't he still on his rookie deal?
Yeah.
Oh,
still on his ELC.
Yeah, I think he's going to have to sink or swim this year. And I think they're going to give him the 20 games and
they have to play him.
Yeah, that's what, and I think you're going to see the 7 defensemen. I think you'll see those guys play a little bit more. Mm-hmm. And then any type of additions or whatever fixing will be an in-season move. I do not think you're going to see another defenseman coming.
You wanted a bold prediction, Liam?
Go ahead.
I say by the end of the year, Philip Broberg he's an every night player. He does not come out of the lineup.
I think there's a strong case for it too.
That's not even
but the question is though, because I mean, he's that right now if you go in 11-7, and I think they do play 11-7 most of the time.
Even if they go 12-6, I think he would be in the top 6.
I could see him jumping Vinny on a day-to-day basis.
It depend on who you're playing though, right?
Yeah, maybe.
There might be 1 or 2 times where
season you worry less about it though.
Yeah, that's fair.
I just think if there was a game today and we found out that the Oilers are going 12-6, he would be in the lineup over Vinny. That's my prediction by the end of the year.
That's fair. I see that. That's a good though. I mean, if he starts living up to that where he is picked, that'd be awesome for us.
The spirit of Oscar Clefbaum lives inside him.
He's got the abs.
Mm-hmm.
We do need to make sure that the Swedish All Abs team is locked in and set.
Yeah, we need more of that.
Ekholm can't do all the heavy lifting here. Anything else on PTOs?
I don't have anything else.
Anybody else? Liam, you like PTOs?
Jake Vatanen doing anything, or are we out?
Well, that was just a dumb PTO.
That was so stupid.
That was just a dumb one.
The thing is, seriously though, like, just don't waste them. Like, if you're gonna bring in guys, actually bring in guys who can compete for a spot too. Like,
Yeah,
Sam
but while you were grabbing your water, or whatever Tyler was saying, you bring in these guys. So, when it comes to preseason games, you've got to dress enough guys.
Yeah.
You're going to have guys here that have zero expectations.
Yeah.
That player had a lot more baggage than necessary, and they probably shouldn't have done what they did. But
when Luke Esposito stayed till like the last cut because he was just an older guy. Yeah. Like, I could probably see that happening again. And we never heard of him since.
Sometimes you need a little insurance, Liam.
Yes, you do.
Whether it's on the ice with some PTOs or from our friends at Cornerstone Insurance, you got to make sure you're prepared for anything. Cornerstone INS/Nation. You can go get yourself a quote right now. And if you use the promo code Nation, you'll get yourself a little bit of a discount. Tyler uses Cornerstone Insurance for his insurance.
I do.
And you should too. Make sure you get a discount. cornerstoneins.ca/nation. Has anybody listened to Sheldon Souray's appearance on Nation Network podcast, Dropping the Gloves?
Yes.
He was not overly pumped about his time here.
Yeah, but when you hear his story, like, we've heard it before. Rick and I were saying, like, Surrey's done kind of this whole thing.
He even comes out and says he can't blame everything on the training stuff. Like, there was a point in time where he was at whatever point, and team was on the road and he hadn't reached out to the trainers and blah, 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 which leads to this, that, and the other thing. So he did say, maybe it's not all on them, but he also comes off in a way of just maybe not trying to sugarcoat anything, right? Like, and you don't have to sugarcoat it. It's just who he is. And
it feels like his hand was close to being amputated, and the doctor said he could have died.
Yeah.
And the Oilers,
he's like, how's my hand? They're like, well, we really don't care about your hand right now. We're just making sure that didn't get to your heart.
And the Oilers, then he caught wind that the Oilers thought he was milking it. And that would piss me off as well.
So the quote from Souray on that, he goes, McTavish walks in, he goes, "Are you effing kidding me? You're not going to be ready for training camp. You're going to sit back on your big contract." He kind of gave it to me in front of all the guys, and I was hot for about a week. So not great.
But he was he was going through contract issues too. So there was, but that wasn't the same time though.
I continue. He says, the starting coach comes in. They think you're milking an injury because you don't want to play for the Oilers again.
This is when he's laying in the hospital.
So I picked up. Really?
Yeah. He's telling this is the part that I listened to. He's he's in the ICU. Team comes back. Coach comes in, or whoever came in and said, team thinks you're milking it. And he called up Kevin Lowe and Daryl Cates, and he left them a message.
Okay. Now I've got the full context. So he was facing potential limb amputation. One of the coaches came to visit him in the hospital where things escalated beyond the point of repair. Then the starting coach comes in. He says, "Hey, they think you're milking an injury because you don't want to play for the Oilers again." So I picked up the phone. I'm on all these painkillers, these antibiotics. I'm sitting in the hospital. I left Kevin Lowe and Daryl Cates a message. I was not happy.
I was more surprised that Cates was around back then. That's what that's that last little bit. I was like, really? Daryl's been around that long? Because it feels like forever ago that Souray was.
Yeah.
It is a long time ago. Yeah.
It's a long time ago.
Facing and at the end of the season, tension between the 6'4" player and management nearly escalated to a physical level. In my year-end interview, I tried to fight Steve Tambellini, who was our GM at the time. We had a tough one. I kind of said, "Hey, it's probably for the best for me to move on."
Yeah, probably.
I don't like Tambo's chances in that fight.
I don't like that either. Tambo's he's gonna have a rough sled.
You know what? I got respect for the Oilers GMs. Then Kevin Lowe's about to fight. What's his face in the barn? Now Tambo's getting involved in it. Like, I like the fact we have some gritty GMs out there.
Well, not every day you get a GM challenge somebody to a barn fight. I've got my machete ready. I always do. Anyway, check out the full interview with Sheldon Souray on Dropping the Gloves. Interesting conversation with him and John Scott, to say the least.
They got some good guests on Dropping the Gloves. Some like I think they had Hossa at one point too.
Yeah, Hossa confirmed the thing where, and I'm paraphrasing, but he said the Oilers offered him like a long-term contract, which we all had heard.
I don't think he said the
time.
money, but it's 8 year, I think.
Yeah. That would have been a weird. It was a weird time to be an Oilers fan.
Decade of darkness with Jose. Yeah.
We were grabbing at straws, man. That's all we could.
It really was, right?
Yager and
it was.
Peter Nedved came back for a second tour of duty.
I liked him.
I liked him too. It was just a weird time to be an Oilers fan.
I saw him block a shot for the team.
Whew.
It's not something you see very much out of Peter Nedved. It might be his only block shot.
Mm-hmm. Well, there you have it. I want to do a little bit of we start off with some bold predictions. So I want to talk about something a little bit lighter. We're under 60 days away from the season starting. What are you just most excited about? I'm most excited about watching the Oilers power play.
Yes.
Because throughout the playoffs, I'd be watching other teams play and seeing their power play relative to what we got to watch on a nightly basis. And it was just
HD and standard.
You might as well
definition.
just be a different league. You're in a different league.
So you're watching TV for a bunch of years ago instead of HD.
100%. I'm looking forward to seeing how the Oilers adjust their power play. Obviously, they're going to keep the same pitches in the but I guarantee they're going to come up with a couple of new little looks and new little flavors and new little tricks to try and beat the defensive systems. I'm really excited about it.
I'm excited for the attitude of the team. I feel like they've got a lot to prove.
Mm-hmm.
The season ended last year, and I feel like there's a lot of question marks with this team considering how well we think they're going to do. Like Evander Kane, we want to see him actually on this team full time.
Healthy.
Healthy.
Yeah.
Jack Campbell bounce back and Evan Bouchard do it again for a full season. Darnell Nurse, even though he was pretty good last season, still obviously the question marks with him too. So I'm just curious how they're going to be and it's kind of the buzz around them. They can back it up.
Yeah, kind of to touch on that too. Like, I'm excited for just the whole vibe of the team and how they're all going to click together and bring Kajula back and also Connor Brown in. It's going to be interesting. But I'm really excited about the Heritage Classic.
For sure.
Yeah, it's a good one.
I
think that's going to be a lot of fun. So hopefully weather's good.
Yeah, because it could be plus 20 or minus 20.
Exactly.
Who knows?
But
Same day last year, I think it was just fine. So we'll be
Perfect.
fine. It actually may be a little too warm.
I'm just curious. I'm just looking up what the weather was like on October 29th of last year.
I
It's
just
like 10
looked up to
degrees
see
or
if
12 or something
Drake
like that.
Kajula shoots left or right.
Left.
It's the left.
He's a lefty.
My
A lot
favorite
of
Drake
lefties.
Kajula moment was from, I'm going to say, I think it was game 6 against Anaheim. He tuned up Andrew Cogliano right in front of me. And it was one of my favorite fights that I had seen in quite some time.
I was so pissed.
It
when
was
they traded
15
him.
degrees last year on
Oh, me
Yeah.
too.
October 29th.
Ooh, that's too warm.
Said, told you.
Too warm, Rick.
Do you remember the outdoor game that Bakersfield had when it rained?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Griffin Reinhardt scored the OT winner through the puddles on
Shout
the
out to
ice.
Big Cat.
Yeah.
There's been a couple games under the rain.
Has it? That's the one that
LA's
sticks
done
out
it.
to me.
LA's had hosted. Even when you go back to like the mid 90s, I think they hosted a
Really?
couple that weren't.
That one just seems to stick in my head because of how extreme it was. Like you could barely see the game.
Extreme.
X Games.
No E.
This year, the NHL's getting extreme with their winter classics. Puddles in them. Sorry, just the way you said extreme really got me going.
That's becoming a button.
Getting excited.
It's 8 months from now. We're going to have to remember I said that.
Oh yeah.
Somebody will.
Yeah, Kennedy's putting in the file.
Oh, it's
We're
all
gonna
right.
talk about it like 6 weeks from now.
Extreme.
Call me
It's just
off
like your
guard.
epic day at the M&M thing.
Hey, that was epic. 4 floors of M&M gear. Come on.
I love
He
it.
was living his best
How much more
life.
M&M gear could you want?
I know. I didn't realize it was
Seems
so
like the
many.
limit.
4 floors.
It was
4
special.
floors of M&M seems like too many.
There was
Yeah,
one.
it's
You went to the
excessive.
one in Vegas.
I walked through the Hershey store.
There's an M&M store in Vegas.
Yeah.
It probably doesn't match up.
You were
to
too busy in
London.
your glasses.
I was too busy. I had
Being
a good
Vegas
vibe
Liam.
going on.
I was told that you had shaved the mustache off. So I'm glad to see that it's still here.
No, I don't.
I forget who said it. Someone was like,
Wanya.
Liam shaved his... Oh,
Wanya
Wanya
did.
did. And I was like,
How would he know? I saw him for the first time today in a month.
He likes to create controversy.
Yeah.
No, I haven't done anything to it.
I was like, were you FaceTiming
kept it.
Wanye?
No. I don't even know what Wanye looks like.
Yeah. Me
No,
neither.
mustache is still here, still kicking.
Well, I'm happy to see it because I was disappointed yesterday.
Yeah, it's quite thick now. I got to trim it a little bit.
Mhm.
Tyler, what are you looking forward to?
I love your power play answer just because like the feeling you get when you see the ref's arm go up and like the Oilers are down one in the third and you're like,
Yep.
fucking here we go.
Mm.
Next 2 minutes of my life are going to be electric. So there's that. I'm looking forward to our season opening party. Just, getting everyone together, having a
yeah.
handful of beers,
Mhm.
meeting nation citizens and all of that. So I think our welcome party is something I'm fired up for.
It's the whole damn season, man. Everything, every little part of it. been gone for a couple months now. Let's get the back in my veins.
I even look forward to Tyler telling us that the Oilers are going to miss the playoffs in the first month or so of the season.
Well,
No silly bets this
that's
time?
usually midway through November. They get it back on track. Happens every year.
It's a roller coaster.
Rinse and
You
repeat.
almost had me convinced last year too.
Never.
Why was it looking so grim last year?
Well, it was just like December. I think
They were out.
They were
Thanksgiving.
hot and cold.
Yeah,
We
they
do
are-
tend to have a sky is falling mentality in
That
this
too.
city province country.
But it was because the season before we went 10-1 or whatever, and then this season it was just up and down.
Yeah.
So
Like
again, we get sky is falling mentality.
it's always the best though.
It's so good. The game day routine and just like the structure of it all. Like, oh, I have a game to watch tonight. It's just
I'm looking forward
Can't
to. Well, I'm looking forward to going to games,
yes, that's the
being
the
in
other
there,
vibe.
having a beer that's way too much money. I'll have a bunch of them.
Yeah, you just got this
Mhm.
everything, man.
I'm looking forward to throwing a hat at some point this
Oh
season.
yeah, multiple times.
Not me.
Probably one that I've just put on for the first time.
Yep.
I've never thrown a hat.
Me
But
neither.
It's a
I've also
different
never
experience.
been
Whoa,
given the
whoa,
I've
whoa,
never
whoa,
been given the
whoa,
opportunity.
As it, so you've never been to a game where an Oiler has scored a hat trick?
Never.
Okay, that's fine then.
Well,
Never, ever.
you were.
I don't.
You
throw
didn't come
on
to
principle.
Nashville.
I did not go to
Liam was
Nashville.
not here.
It's all down the fort.
What did you say?
I said I don't throw on principle.
What is that principle?
yeah.
I like my $40 hats.
You're in the media now, man. You go to like all-star games, you go to the draft. You've got to be able to find a way to get a cheap hat. You're actually alumni for Lids. You get a staff discount, I bet still.
No,
if
I don't.
anybody can whip these things, it should be you.
But like some of my hats I like to wear to games are like Nation Gear hats we don't make anymore. So I'm just
I've lost a few of those. You've been with me as I've
Yeah.
lost a few.
Yeah.
and always like 40 minutes after you're like, I regret that. That was
That's-
dumb.
No, I do not. That is full of beans. You are full of beans.
Cowardly, Tyler.
He's gotta.
I was like, Rick, you
If
threw
Connor's
your-
gonna sell out for the team, I'm gonna sell out for the team.
That
If I want a player to put his face in front of a slap shot, I'm gonna throw my hat.
you threw your maroon hat in Nashville.
Exactly.
those two things
Yeah.
have zero correlation.
No, they are. We're all doing what we can for the team.
We're all doing our
We're
part.
all
man.
pulling
It's-
it up.
Exactly.
Yep.
I
The
love
sixth man on the ice. Or seventh.
With how loud you yell,
Seventh.
some
Yeah, I
players
try.
might think you are.
You know what? That's one thing I'm looking forward to. Yelling at officials again. I feel like I have a beef with a couple of them.
Well, yeah, probably.
Should we start writing these things down?
There's something very, very fun to me. Well, first of all, I love throwing hats, even though some of mine have gone really poorly over the last couple of years. Throwing one in an opposing barn is
Oh.
the best.
Yeah, that would be fun.
Nashville was fun.
Oh yeah.
I've thrown them Calgary, LA, Vegas. I've thrown hats.
Yeah.
The best. I love it.
Being in
Also
another team's barn is just
Yeah,
like,
chirping their fans. Nashville was fun. They have that little
Oh yeah.
group of people over there on our left. Where
I
they
was
were.
actually going through videos the other day and I found a few that are
Yeah. Like
Yeah.
pulling them out. There's a lady.
That's why I'm excited about Nation Vacation
Yeah.
too. Like Seattle, we've never
Oh.
been there.
Mhm.
Curious to see what it's like for Rick to be yelling at people
I
in
feel like
Seattle.
this is going to be like T-ball. I feel like I just feel, I don't know if their fan base is going to be able to
take your
match
heat.
wits at this point.
Oh, so
They need
sorry.
They need a couple years of experience first.
They've been wanting a team. We'll see
Bunch of
see how chirpy
Supersonics
they-
fans in there.
Yeah,
They're
exactly.
all fired up.
how chirpy they
Probably
get.
half of them are Sean Kemp's children.
Why, do they have a lot of kids?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he does.
Well, I learned something today.
Oh, so I might have to use that as a joke. I'm put that in my pocket for that trip.
Save your chirps. I want to talk about Wilhock beef jerky really quickly. You, Rick, went and got some pickled eggs.
I did, and jerky and pepperoni. I had some
And
jerky today. It's
how-
fantastic.
Of course.
Come on.
Which location you go to?
I went to the kiosk.
Oh,
In the mall.
because Electronic Jordan said he was in Leduc. No pickled eggs. You
No
had to go to
pickled eggs
kiosk.
there. Kiosk 1, brick and mortar 0.
Go check out wilhockbeefjerky.com. Get yourself a little snack. If you're coming to the Oilers Nation Open on September 1st, Millwoods Golf Club, you're going to get a little bit in your bag.
Oh, thank goodness.
It's the best part
Yum.
of the swag bag, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Grabbing some beef jerky. And if you're there early, maybe you steal your friend's beef jerky and pretend it wasn't in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good
Smart.
play.
I mean, it's a greasy play, but it's something I would do.
If you're there late, maybe you get an extra bag from someone who didn't come, perhaps.
Or maybe you just don't get any at all.
Or
You
just
have to
go
to
get
one of
some
the
yourself
kiosks.
from the
Maybe you
kiosk.
don't.
Maybe you got to wrestle Waz and get his stash of beef jerky.
Don't tempt me.
Don't even tell him it's going to be there. He won't even know.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Ask the Idiots. I've got 4 questions for Ask the Idiots. Not one of these has to do with the Edmonton Oilers, so I'm excited to hear your answers. Tyler, you are up first.
Okay.
You are a TV fan. You are a media member. You have worked here for quite some time. You know your teammates well. If you were to cast The Office using only Nation staff, who are a couple of characters and who's playing them?
So like the U.S. Office, I'm
The US
casting our
Yeah, just put
So like who's Jim, who's Dwight, that kind of thing.
Oh,
Jim. Who? Ronnie is Pam, Office mom.
Yep.
People listening to this have no idea who Ronnie is.
Yeah, so Ronnie...
Low hanging answer.
Yeah, Ronnie kind of...
Ronnie's
Anything
been
we
around.
need in the office,
She's been
Ronnie's the
around
one that
forever.
handles it.
I
no
feel
idea.
like, hear me out on this one.
okay.
Aside from one difference, Rick as Daryl. You know, Daryl manages the warehouse. Rick manages Nation Gear.
Yeah.
Both kind of no nonsense, right?
Take it.
So I think Rick as Daryl.
Rick also plays the piano beautifully and sings well.
He
You have
does.
no idea.
So there's another good one.
Yep.
Trying to think of like a good Stanley, like an office grump, but I really can't think of one because it might be me. I'm taking Rick as Daryl as my answer.
Kennedy, who you got? We're casting The Office with some Nation staff. Who's a couple of characters and who would play them?
Well, my first thought was Waz as Creed.
That's not bad.
Oh,
I love that. I love it.
Age part's different, but the rest of it's pretty on the nose.
It's
Mhm.
close enough. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's.
Mhm.
I think Jay said it on Real Life or whatever, but you have to experience Waz, and I think that's going to be this season. Is just he's a character in himself. Love him to death.
It's not, I'm going to jump in because I'm not around as much. Kelly and Kylie.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Kelly
Yep.
and I thought there was someone at the office called Kelly.
How long have I been gone for?
That is a good one. I can't think of any of them.
You can use the English version of The Office if you want.
If that's
That makes it easier for you.
It was David
Well-
Brent.
Michael Scott's so hard to cast because I hope nobody is like him because he's not normal. Oh no. I will say I don't have one. DM you go. Let me keep thinking.
You said Ronnie as Pam.
Mhm.
I could also see Ronnie as Angela because she's the most likely to tell us all off.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, probably.
Sometimes we deserve it too. You know?
Usually, probably.
Tyler can be Stanley. He called himself. A little grumpy sometimes. Loves a Sudoku. Doesn't like to sit in meetings.
Who would be Andy?
Andy?
Hopefully nobody.
Hopefully nobody.
Who's the most likely to punch a hole in the drywall? Interesting question. By the way, Kennedy just said Waz's Creed. So I just looked up Creed quotes and now I'm picturing them coming out of Waz's mouth and they're very funny. Like I've been involved in a number of
You need
cults,
to-
both as a leader and a follower.
You need to write these quotes down and just give them a list of them and do not tell them what they're for. Just say, Kate, here's the camera. You now have to say these, wait 5 seconds, say that line, wait 5 seconds, and then clip these things.
If you're listening to this, I'm also curious, based on what you know of Nation staff, it can just be show staff or whatever you want to do, who you would cast as some Office cast members. Got an answer, Liam? Or no?
No, I can't think of anything without making people upset. So I'm good. I'll say Tyler Stanley. I like that one. Hopefully he doesn't have a heart attack.
Hey, you never know.
Tyler does also have some Jim in him because if you're watching podcasts every now and then, Tyler will look straight at the camera when
Yeah.
something happens.
Yeah.
That'll be the good part about having the podcast all be videos. People will get those moments more.
Okay. Question number 2. I'm going to start with Liam on this one.
Hopefully I have an answer.
Oh, actually, I lied about the Oilers thing. This one is Oilers related. What was one trade the Oilers made that you never liked, but you got to exclude the obvious ones? We're not talking about Hall for Larson. We're not talking about Smith or Reinhart. Maybe like a lowercase trade that you're just like, I fucking hate that one. So in the example that Blake gives, he goes, for example, Ladislav Schmid being traded to Flames always bothered me because it's the Flames and because it's Schmid.
Yeah, that one did suck. What was it? Roman Horak, and that was Brossoit that came back, and we traded Olivier Roy, I think was the goal of that one. That one sucked. Honestly, I'll say the Drake Kajula one. I already said it. I really did not like that trade when it happened for obvious reasons. I'm Brandon Manning, but also I thought Drake Caggiula was kind of exactly what the Oilers needed at the time too, right? Like an upcoming forward who could score some goals, and he never did that after he left the Oilers.
Kennedy, lowercase trade that you just kind of always annoyed you.
The Caggiula Brandon Manning one was my answer, but I'm still a little heartbroken about the Tyson Barrie trade too, just because I love Tyson Barrie so much. Playing style, love Ekholm, all that. It's just more of I'm thinking with my heart, not my head, in the Tyson Barrie thing.
Happens the best of us, Rick.
But
it's the result of a larger trade, but it's bringing in Spooner.
That was my answer. Strom for Spooner was just.
Yeah, that's a bad. I mean, we can go back a long time ago, but yeah.
Yeah. Tyler, you got something?
I was going to say the one when the Oilers dealt, and again, like at the time it made sense and I wasn't like super pissed about it, but the fact that Sam Gagner was included in the Athanasiou deal, I know COVID ended up screwing everything over kind of anyways, but thinking back to that moment when it was like, oh my God, Sam's finally going to get to play playoff hockey in Edmonton. He had scored a couple of big goals and then he gets traded and then a pandemic hit. So it didn't end up mattering anyways. I'm trying to see if there's any other ones. It wasn't because of what we gave up, but looking back on it, really wish they wouldn't have given up a fifth for the rights of Nikita Nikitin. Am I right?
The Derek Brassard one kind of sucked too. Like it was minuscule, but it was like, do we need that? Like, and then never to play him, and then you lose the fourth round pick.
Killer, by the way. Yeah, we always have to add that.
Well, that's probably why they got him.
Mm-hmm. And these are like, I understand them, but like, Kleem and Yamo going to Detroit, and I get the cap spacing. Like I totally understand, but it just sucks seeing you lose players for nothing.
Yeah. I didn't like the Kleem one.
Or a different example of the same thing is Yessa for Postulia or whatever that guy's name was.
Yeah. Patrick Pistula.
It just kind of like, I get it. The cap dump is the return, but like moving roster players for zero, it just hurts. Even though I understand the situation, don't get mad at me. I have always appreciated and supported Raphael Lavoie in the top 6. Anything else? Any other trades you didn't like? We're moving on. Rick, you're up next because this one fits with what you do for a living. Ooh. You are only allowed one drink for the rest of your life, be it a Jack and Coke or beer or whatever. What is that drink? Spice, rum, and Coke for me, easy. Not really a hard answer for me.
Beer for me too, easy.
You know what? It'd probably have to be something like Jameson.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh man, you are.
I can get by without sipping on drinks. So like if I'm just like doing shots of JMO and then just like having waters or something else, I'll be fine.
If I'm doing shots of JMO, I am on the roof of this building.
How you get there? Yeah.
Well.
Yeah.
Liam, one drink for the rest of your life.
Guinness.
Ooh, I had a Guinness.
I just did it.
Lovely.
I just did Guinness for 3 weeks. That's all I drank. And when I was in France.
Mix in water?
No waters, yeah. Just Guinness. I just find beer, it just makes me so carbonated and just makes me feel like shit. So Guinness is...
but a good crispy boy on a hot day, Liam. I couldn't live without that.
See, that's the thing I would miss because like spice, rum, and Coke, that's just my drink.
Yeah.
But cold beer on a hot day is...
I'm surprised you didn't pick Caesars.
I do love Caesars, but that's
but they're 1 to 2. If you can, third one's a real struggle, and then you're done for the day.
For me, Caesars is just like that's to re-level the ship. I need to recalibrate the sights. That's why I'm drinking Caesars. Kennedy, what do you got?
My first thought was just beer at a Oilers game, like just a cold beer. Like that's just
there's something
like something different. It hits different. Like whatever the price is, I don't care. I'm going to pay it.
Tyler asked an interesting question on Twitter the other day. I'm going to ask everybody here.
Oh yeah.
What is the absolute max you would play for a beer at an Oilers game? Did you have an answer for that, Tyler?
Yeah. So a couple people make good points in the replies. Like it depends on the situation. Like, are you going into the game with a couple in you already and you're feeling a little loose? Like your visa bill doesn't really matter all that much. So then like your answer probably changes. But like Saturday night, BOA, if I'm going into there with a couple beers in me, I'm ready to have a good time. I think I would pay $30 for a beer. I wouldn't go higher than that, but 30 is my limit.
I mean, we did pay $30 for beers all through the playoffs.
Yeah. Like
When we were traveling around, they're basically 24 US.
Everyone sits here and yells about our prices, man.
Way worse in the States.
Dip below the border there and go take a look at theirs.
Yeah. When we were in Vegas, I don't remember exactly what the deal was with this margarita. Like, I love marg, so I'm like, ooh, margarita might be nice, and I'm like, $40. Oh my god.
So 30 is my limit.
I would say that, like, if they get much more than that, I'm gonna have. I mean, let's be honest, I'd still do it. But like,
you're still doing it.
Dude, if you knew going into a game that it was going to be like $40 a beer, you would just go in hammered and chill for a bit.
Totally, 100%.
I think there'd have to be some sort of a line.
When my ticket costs less than like what I'm going to spend on beer, or a beer, then I'm like, okay, like no thanks.
What do you think your max is though? You're going to the Oilers game. You got good seats. You're sitting there.
Probably like
you're parched. You're feeling parched.
Like probably like if I'm gonna like it again, there was rules to it, but I think $30 to $40 would be my like just for one.
Liam shaking
but it
his
has
head
to be
no.
one. Like one. I'm done.
What is the absolute max you spend on a beer, Liam?
Mine would probably be like $20. In Vegas when we went, I was obligated. I had one beer at that game.
Yeah,
because it was like $30,
expensive.
and I thought, fuck that. That is ridiculous to be paying.
But I have to have one.
Beverage.
Like I cannot go to a game and not have one.
I could have like a bottle of Coke and be like, all right with myself at a game.
Yeah, I could too. I just think that's ridiculous.
It's a whole experience in itself.
Mm-hmm.
It's got to go with it. Yeah.
Curious to hear if you're listening to this, what's the absolute max you would pay for a beer at Rogers Place? Going
and debate it with your friends this weekend.
Yeah,
it's an interesting question because every time they raise the prices, I'm like, "Whoa!" And I'm like, "Nah."
Then like halfway through you're numb to it, and you're like, well, it cost me $60 to drink at the games now. Whatever.
You're probably paying whatever they're charging. So
this question's so stupid that I had to include it. Liam, what is your spirit animal and why?
My what?
Your spirit animal.
Like, what is my favorite animal?
Oh, your spirit animal.
What does that
What's
mean?
living deep inside you? Like it could be a tiger if you're like, rah! You know?
Oh, probably fox.
You give off foxy vibes.
You do give off foxy vibes.
That's my fox.
Perry the platypus right there.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe.
Oh God.
Liam, Kennedy, what's your spirit animal and why?
I don't know. I've always liked like the cute little pigs. That's always been something.
Like a piglet?
Piglet. Yeah. I don't know.
Golly.
Maybe. This is really bad.
Rick, what's your spirit animal and why?
I don't know if you see me at hockey games, but I think Tasmanian Devil might work for a bit.
Tyler?
House cat.
I was going to go along those lines too.
One that gets walked on a leash as well. Like Tyler
Hey, I'm into it if you are.
Oh my
we're not here to kink shame. I'm very sloth-like. I don't move a lot. Very slow moving.
You like wearing baggy hoodies that gives off a slothy kind of vibe, you know?
Yeah.
Like, da-doom.
So there you go. Asking it is for our friends at Wilhock Beef Jerky.
That was good.
Oh, that's
Submit your questions. They don't have to be about the Oilers right now until we get back at it. But when we do, you can do whatever you want anyway. Next up, we've got Kennedy's quick quote game.
Quote game.
Quote game from Kennedy. She's prepared some quotes. If you haven't listened to this before, she essentially looks back at some of the old episodes. We have to try and figure out which of us morons said whatever it is that she has.
How many we got?
You guys have said. Six quotes. 6 quotes.
1 week she did 10.
I did do that one, but no, 6,
doubled, yeah.
Well, we're gonna keep it going with this how this works. But 6 quotes,
Someone
2 of
gets
one
doubled.
person. Alrighty.
Question number 1.
Alrighty. Hey Toronto, suck it.
Oh, come on.
Well, that could be any of us.
I don't.
Can you say that one again? Okay.
Quote number 2.
2. Last night he had 4 chances until he scored from sitting on his ass.
Oh, that was
Last night he had 4
Puljujarvi.
chances.
Until he scored from sitting on his ass.
That was a Puljujarvi goal.
Who said it though?
Oh, God. Okay, I don't know.
I don't know either. I'm off to a bad start.
That really beats out your
Number 3. Would you like a gently used Milan Lucic? Somebody's playing GM here. Okay, number 4. This guy, he's a 6'7" apple tree.
6'7" apple tree.
Oh, I know exactly what that is.
I know who we're talking about.
Is that Vinny?
We'll be talking about big jugs, wouldn't we?
Vinny
No, it was
Ochara.
Vinny when he had like 4 assists in 5 games.
Oh.
I whipped and Nate for this. Did you whip and Nate too?
I keep these are all fucking bagged milk.
I could put my own name 4 times so far.
I think you should.
Ugh. Fuck.
Okay.
And the last one. I want a goalie fight. The anticipation of 2 men punching each other in the face is always better.
Can you read number 2 again, please?
Yes. Last night he had 4 chances until he scored from sitting on his ass.
Ugh.
I think
Try not to go 0 for today.
I really don't want you to go for,
I
but
feel like I'm going over today.
my goal is always to make sure you guys don't get your own. So when you get your own, I'm like, damn it, I didn't do my
Okay,
job.
wait. What was number 1 again?
Suck it, Toronto.
Hey Toronto, suck it. just a good line in general.
What was 3?
3 was, would you like a gently used Milan Lucic?
Okay, let's go.
All right.
Alrighty.
6 answers to see how we
so
do.
defeated
Okay.
already.
Quote number 1, Kennedy.
Okay, hey Toronto, suck it. BM, who'd you get?
Tyler.
I guess Tyler.
I went Dan.
I said myself.
Ty.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay. No over for me this week.
Yeah.
No offer for me.
Alrighty. Number 2. Last night he had 4 chances until he scored from his
Oh,
ass.
that was Fogel that scored on his ass.
I'm going to say Rick.
I said Dan.
I have Tyler.
I had myself again.
Liam.
Oh,
Oh,
shit.
that might.
Was it Fogel?
I'm
That
pretty
was
sure it was Fogs. Yeah.
God damn it.
It's always fun when you say something, you're like, I wouldn't say that.
Mm-hmm.
Number 3.
Would you like a gently used Milan Lucic?
BM.
I said me.
I have VM.
Yeah.
No, that was Dan.
Oh,
An upset.
That's where I had to put down.
Boo.
Ooh.
All right. Well,
Wow.
now the rest of my answers are going to probably not be great.
Yeah.
This is not good for me.
This guy, he's like a 6'7" apple tree.
Liam?
Rick.
Me.
Bag milk.
It was Rick.
Yeah.
Fuck.
You said Vinny. I was like, God damn it. I thought I could trip you up.
See, wait a second.
Ugh. Okay.
1 for 4 over here so far.
Me too.
Okay. I whipped and Nate for it. Did you whip and Nate too?
Has to be me.
I said me.
I have BM.
Liam.
BM.
Yeah.
Shit.
Oh, but I just thought one of the other 2 had. Oh, I'm so mad. All right.
Alrighty.
Great pull from me from a song that nobody remembers.
I was like, this is kind of BM-ish and could be anybody else. Okay. Number 6. I want a goalie fight. The anticipation of 2 men punching each other in the face is always better.
I said Dan because of hockey fights.
Yeah, me too.
I said BM.
I have Liam.
It was Liam.
Yeah, 3
Fuck.
again. Let's go.
What did I
went,
say?
1 for 6.
I'm the best baseball player ever.
You
In
said,
for a high average.
alrighty, how'd everybody do?
I got 2.
3.
3, 2,
Tyler, how'd you do?
1.
Well, at least you're not over.
2. I did a count of like how everybody's kind of done for this.
Please, who's the best at this?
I have to be.
Yeah,
I think
would
I
bet it's
got.
Rick.
Didn't I go perfect?
Okay, so no, BM's the only one that's been 6 out of 6.
I got
so
1
far.
wrong, and but the week before I went over.
So
That was big.
Yeah, your 6 for 6 may hurt me, but
Dan and Liam, you split on week 1 that we did this, and then Liam 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I think you've won 4.
yeah,
Yeah.
How many have we done?
What?
like 6 or 7.
Yeah.
8.
Well, it's not fair because I missed 3 weeks.
I know
so
that's kind of also why I was like, I don't know how to count
So
these.
let's
Brings
things.
the average down.
Let's run
Hey,
through
if
what
you're
we
not
did
here,
the last 3
you
weeks.
just get
The last 3 weeks.
Just a quick segment, folks. Won't be long.
I was like, do we go through all the answers to an aggregate total of exactly?
Yeah,
how
we're going
many
to take
of these?
averages now.
Yeah, basically.
Last 2 weeks are really dragging Tyler down, though.
Oh, yeah, I'm hurting.
An 0 for and a 1
Yeah.
for 6.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's brutal. Well, a big pat on the back to myself, though.
I'm
batting
only
average
going
like
to say
Springer.
quotable items from now on that I can remember. I got to remember every word that comes out of my mouth.
It's
Electronic Jordan, I know you're playing along. How'd you do this week?
send me. I like it when Electronic Jordan sends me what he got.
For our friends at Star Mechanical, it is time to wrap up the podcast. Hot and cold performers. Let's just look back at the last 7 days of our lives. Do a little hot, little cold, What's been working? What's been not? Star Mechanical is one of Edmonton's biggest locally owned and operated plumbing and heating businesses and have been working within the community for over the last 20 years. Many of the new homes built in Edmonton over that time have used Star Mechanical heating and plumbing. Basically, what we're saying is if you're looking for pros, they are the pros.
New sponsor, title sponsor of the golf tournament. It is the Oilersnation Open presented by Star Mechanical.
Can't wait to see all of you there.
Yep.
It's going to be great. As we do every week, we start off with our veggies with our cold performers of the week. To my right is sitting Mr. Tyler Yaremchuk. I'm starting with you, your Star Mechanical cold performer of the week.
Oh man, I don't know if you guys have seen some of the images on Twitter. The wildfires right now in the Kelowna area, spooky. Mm-hmm. So it's not really a cold performer, I guess, but the wildfires and everyone affected by those. I'm sure we have listeners out in Kelowna and all that. So stay safe.
My mom lives in Kelowna.
Yes.
Troubling.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to give a button.
Yeah, no button. No button.
Rick, you are next up. Your Star Mechanical cold performer of the week.
I've actually had to write a couple down this week because the things were.
No.
There's a list.
I know. I do have a list.
We'll go through.
Okay.
We're just gonna. So I was in the mall yesterday, and there's one thing that really started annoying me is if you're not gonna walk up the escalator, take the elevator, and if you're gonna walk up, single file down the right hand side because I don't want to be stuck behind you guys because you're too lazy to take steps on the damn escalator and you're sitting too wide, so I have to be behind you. Stay to the right, get the hell out of the way because I just want to walk up and get out of the way.
What the hell is going on?
What else you got? Yeah. Liam, you're up next. You've been away for a while. You could go even from the last 3 weeks. Maybe something in your travel that annoyed you. Your Star Mechanical cold performer of the last 3 weeks.
The French. Just bad people.
I like
As
that.
a French person myself.
Wow, come on
I should
now.
be more specific.
You should.
The Parisians, which I believe is short for Paris. Actually, that's
Residents
longer.
of Paris?
Residents of Paris. You are not better than me. You are not better than anybody. If I'm trying to order a damn coffee, don't tell me to shut up. Also, stop pickpocketing people. It's ridiculous.
It's rude.
It's rude, and that is not yours. So the Parisians.
Oh, Liam, we've missed you.
Okay.
That's a joke. That's an absolute joke is what it is.
I apologize to my fellow French people out there.
French Canadians are fine. Also, do you know what else pissed me off about them?
Go ahead.
My girlfriend and her sister, we were all in Paris together. They speak fluent French. They are French teachers. And whenever they spoke in French, the French refused to respond back in French and just started speaking English.
Because it was Canadian French.
Canadian French, yeah.
Oh, it pissed me off. They're trying to adapt to your language and make it easier for you, and you don't give a shit. I can't stand them. I'm never going back.
Yeah, Parisian French and Canadian French, much different.
Assholes.
Well, Kennedy, I'm sorry you have to follow that up. But you're up next. Your Star Mechanical cold performer of the week.
Thanks for that, Liam. My Star Mechanical cold performer of the week actually goes to Dan for posting pictures from Vegas. I'm very jealous. So I hope he's having a great time, but enough.
I'm upset.
I get it.
Yeah.
I get it. Tyler, do you go? Oh, yeah, you did.
Yeah,
Everybody good? And it's cold performers? Liam threw me off track here.
Who's yours?
Yeah.
Oh, my cold performer of the week is I haven't had TV at my house for fucking 8 days now. And yesterday, for the second straight day, I am on the phone with TELUS. I am in their chat and nothing is working. And then I say, when I call in yesterday, because I got a call back from tech support, this is the third call back and still no TV's worky.
Nice.
I say, can we just organize a technician to come to my house? I don't have time to sit here. And the person goes, no, I can fix it for you. I promise. And you know what culminated at the end of my fucking call? A visit with a technician that is scheduled for Monday. So another 3 days without TV. I'm upset.
What?
Do you have DVDs?
Hopefully.
Thankfully, I have YouTube and Netflix right on my TV so I can entertain myself. But
That's why I don't have
Ridiculous.
cable.
in the meantime, I'm going to be watching Fievel Goes West on VHS.
It's a great movie, though.
Great movie.
VHS. Oh, God.
All right. Got it out of my system.
Me too.
Star Mechanical. Yeah, you did.
Yeah.
Star
That was a
Mechanical Hot
therapy
Performer
session.
of the Week. Jumping right at Kennedy. You're up first.
Oh, you know what? I'm going to give my hot performer to Tyler this week. You've been doing a really good job with these studios. So, and you're painting this morning. So
Thank you.
yeah, Good job.
Pour it on. Pour it on.
Pouring that paint on.
Yeah.
I picked that one just for you. I'm looking forward to seeing what you do with that studio.
Me too.
I'm looking
Things are moving and shaking in here, and it's really exciting. So it's been fun.
Big content year coming.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Rick, you're up next. Your Star Mechanical Hop Performer of the Week.
Well, I'm not going to take all of Tyler's, but I will make him specify a little bit. So I'm going to go and give it to the quarterback, Trey Ford from the Elks.
Yeah.
Dude's been handling the ball for the last 2 games. Team looks completely different. Offense is built around him. If he's able to run, the rest of the offense is open. We can go back to finally winning some games.
He's a hot guy.
Tyler, you want to add on that for your Hop Performer?
Yeah, Alex, baby. Can you imagine if they didn't blow that lead to Winnipeg? The playoffs would be like right there. But I believe we as fans are going to will this team to the playoffs this year.
We're going to win next week, next Sunday, and it's going to be over. The whole home thing is going to be done.
It's getting hot in here.
Labor Day back-to-back against Calgary.
Let's go.
That's when you can go pedal to the floor. Trey Ford Nation, what up?
So I don't follow the CFL as much outside of the losing streak, which I find to be unbelievable. So the Elks won their first game last night
Of the season,
1-9.
How many do they have to win to legitimately get back in contention?
If Calgary loses, we're only 2 wins back. And we play them twice.
Yeah, so we could in the Labor Day and Labor Day rematch, we catch them, or because we just beat the Ticats, we could cross over to the East, right? Yeah. So they're actually only 2 wins back of the Ticats already.
It's because there's such a gap between the top 3 or 4 teams taking all the points, and then the rest of them are all within striking distance of each other.
It's so stupid, the Elks, because Taylor Cornelius, the one really good game he had was against Saskatchewan, which the Elks blew because their kickoff returner didn't know the rules. That game, he was running everywhere and the offense was flowing. The next game, they just took it out completely and they got shit on. Now they have Trey Ford, who's running around everywhere and being a lot different. It's well, this was the recipe to start, and you guys
but when Ford came in, they also brought in a new OC.
I know it was a new one as well.
But Jackson is there calling everything now.
Surely it was obvious then that the players outside of the quarterback adapt better too when the quarterback's running around.
Yeah, I mean, he's running the ball, which takes the defense off their toes. Yeah. They play on their heels a bit, opens up for the pass, opens up for the running backs too this way.
Liam, what do you got? Your Star Mechanical Hop Performer of the Week or your last 3 weeks, whatever you want to do?
I'll go English food. I missed it a lot. I had fish and chips a lot. I had this drink called Lucozade Sport, which is like a Gatorade, but fantastic.
How many butties did you have over there?
I was just going to say bacon butties, sausage butties, ham. I had almost every day I was there. There was a Costa Coffee right next to my hotel in London, which is basically Tim's. And they had bacon butties and sausage butties in there, and they heat them up for you, and off you go.
It's awfully nice of them.
It was amazing.
That's good.
Feeling hot, hot, hot.
Bet you didn't have a corn chip butty though, did they?
No corn chips.
Well, I guess they're not listening to our podcast.
Well, secondary honorary Cole Performer of the Week. Punter still not in the Mascot Hall of Fame. I'm going to wrap it up. My Star Mechanical Hop Performer of the Week is Tyler and I. We're not only competing like teammates in our bocce ball tournament versus Jay and sales guy Jared, but dominating them in our 2 wins and really coming back in the deciding rubber match.
It was something.
It was electric.
I like it.
And now we can retire undefeated if we so choose. So
I want to play more bocce, actually. I don't want to.
I do. That was a great time. We had a good time.
Fun.
So Tyler and I beating Jay and sales guy Jared. Hop Performer of the Week.
This is why I'm hot. I'm hot because I'm fly. You ain't because you not.
There you go. Liam, you got anything else to say?
Don't go to Paris. Don't waste your money. Go to London. It's a pretty cool place. I looked up, out of curiosity, I wanted to know what the kindest places to visit in Europe were. And shockingly, Paris was not in the top 20. And I looked up the rudest places. Anyone want to guess what number 1 was?
Paris.
Paris, France. Number 1.
And not to be confused with Paris, Ohio.
No, let's not get those mixed up.
Is there a Paris in Ontario too, I think?
There's an Edmonton in London, which is funny.
Yeah, there is a Paris in Ontario.
Yeah.
So if you're living in Paris in Ontario, he's not talking about
No,
you.
not you. Not to get confused. Paris, France, the host of the Olympics, who also, their river that goes through it, I believe it's called the Seine, can now not be used for Olympic events because there's so much sewage in it. Also, there was a sign when we were walking through the Louvre Gardens that says, "Don't drop your garbage, rats will come." It is a horrible place. I hated it so much. The rudeness.
How's the Louvre though?
Oh, it was actually kind of cool.
We're good at that. We're good at the
There you have it. And that's where we're going to wrap it up. Seattle trip is launched. Nationgear.ca. Oodle Noodle for the delicious debate, Cornerstone Insurance, Wilhock Beef Jerky, and Star Mechanical for making this all possible. Thank you guys for listening to this. I'm going to go recover from Tyler yelling at me. Have a great weekend, everybody.
That's fair.